First-time homebuyers, we've all been there. My name is Mark Fattanti. I'm a realtor in Idaho, and my goal is to help first-time homebuyers. I mean, anybody purchase a home, but more specifically, I just want people to be more knowledgeable of the whole process, right? I remember when I first bought a house, and I had no idea. The first person that answered the phone when I called up looking for realtors, he was my guy, and yeah, I had no idea. What can I ask for? What can't I ask for? I mean, how does it work? I mean, what even happens? So I'm gonna create this video and basically just go over everything. I mean, what does the process look like? I made a quick video about a minute and a half a few days ago, and I posted on here, and I believe it was beneficial, but I also feel like it was just missing a lot of information. It was a quick, not in-depth video to give people just a rough answer. So I'd like to go further in on that and really dive deep. So let's start. Step one, you find out you want to buy a house. Now what? Okay, cool. Let's think about all the things we need to do to buy a house. We need some sort of funding to purchase the home, and unless you're a veteran like myself, so I can qualify for the VA loan, active duty veterans, and I believe you're gonna have to double check. I believe it's if you serve for 90 days of active duty, you qualify for a veterans home loan. And so with VA loans, you typically do not have to put down a down payment. What does that mean for everybody else that's not a veteran? Well, I mean, don't get too discouraged. There's programs out there that people can offer you or you can find that have some sort of down payment assistance. In Idaho, I've got the website, and I can add the link to the bio, but it has, I believe it's like a 0.02% you have to add to the down payment or along those lines. So basically for a $400,000 house, you would need to come up with $2,000 for this program. There's others, but I mean, really think about that. $2,000, how much is first and last month's rent if you go to rent a house? Good luck finding it for $2,000. But don't be super discouraged when you don't have money in your account to just buy a house. A lot of people don't. That's normal. Do not feel discouraged over that. And do not let it stop you from owning a home and paying for your own mortgage and building your own wealth and equity. Okay, now that we've cleared that out, perfect. You figured out down payment assistance. Now what? A lender. You can work with pretty much any lender that's legally allowed to do it within your state. It doesn't. They can be a lender out of state, but as long as they're licensed to do it in your state. Most are, not all. So bigger name places like Rocket Mortgage or Veterans United or, credit unions, banks, blah, 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 blah. Those all, you call them up and they're going to have a person. Most realtors have lenders that they use, they can communicate with, and they're usually an actual person in the area. And it's good to shop around for lenders because you can get more competitive rates. Not everything is so cut and dry, okay? You don't have to just go with the first one. Call different mortgage places, call credit unions, call lenders. Just shop around, try and find a competitive rate. Roughly, they can't control the rates, but some offer different programs, especially for first-time home buyers, as an incentive. Okay, now, once you have your lending figured out, so your funding, you have money, you are pre-approved, usually in 60 to 90 days, how long that lasts for, your pre-approval, perfect, check. Now, I'm not gonna even start speaking on the side of doing it without a realtor because I don't even know what that looks like, to be honest with you. So the next step that I'd recommend, obviously, because I am a realtor and because even before I was a realtor, I used one. I didn't even know how to buy a house, like I said. I mean, I wish my realtor would explain more for me, but I wouldn't have been able to do it on my own. Maybe with a lot of research, but not in the situation that I was in. It wouldn't have been very good. Anyways, find a realtor that you like and trust, and make sure that they actually care about you. Yes, this is how we earn a living. selling and buying homes, correct, 100%. But here's the deal. In my opinion, I would rather take, and I'm gonna get a lot of backlash on that. I would rather take a lower commission, but it lead to more business than a higher commission that ends at that transaction. And I say I'm gonna get a lot of backlash on that because there's plenty of agents that go, I'm not a discount agent, blah, blah, blah. Like, I got into real estate to help out people, to teach people, because this is something that we all would like to do. I assume all of us wanna own a home, so it doesn't seem fair to gatekeep in order to get a higher amount of money. I feel like you're not really showing your true value. So, get an agent that you like, you trust, that tells you things, that's honest, that answers the fucking phone, okay? Because they don't often. Don't answer the phone. They don't answer the phone for other agents. It's a mess. Get somebody that definitely answers the phone. That's very important. Check. You found yourself an agent. Now what? Buyer's representation agreement. This basically says the agent is your agent. He or she will represent you in a transaction. They will submit offers. They will show you offers. I mean, if you're on the buyer side, they will submit offers, get your approval on it. You'll sign it. They'll go over the form with you, the contract for the offer. Hopefully, they'll send it over, and then they'll do negotiating back and forth for you. They should be keeping you in the loop. They are required to inform you of everything coming in, so they'll keep you in the loop, and you guys will negotiate together. And then let's say you get it accepted. Awesome. So once you are accepted, that is when you give something called earnest money. Earnest money usually have 3 days. It depends. It's written in the contract, so I'm not going to say, oh, you've got 3 days, because you guys could have written in there, oh yeah, we'll do the earnest money in 4 hours. Just an example. But I'm saying usually it's about 3 days. So your earnest money is an amount of money, and it doesn't go nowhere. It goes back towards your loan. If your loan is for $395,500 and you're purchasing the home for $396,000, if you put $500 of earnest money down, then your loan is still the $395,500, and your earnest money makes up for that. So I hope that makes sense. Anywho, your earnest money is basically assurance money. It tells the seller, hey, we're not going to back out for just no reason. If all of our contingencies are met and there's no problems with the house when we do the inspection or the appraisal and you guys work with us, like, we're going to buy the house. There are spots in the contract and the offer and things like that we'll get to further on in this video where you can safely back out and keep your earnest money. But it's basically to say that you're not just going to leave for fun. You are intending to purchase the home, and if you leave for no reason, they can have your money. That's what the earnest money is for. It's assurance. Okay? Perfect. So after you do that, now it's time for an inspection. An inspection isn't mandatory, but get one. I know it can be tough on the wallet sometimes. Ask somebody to borrow money. Ask your agent for help. Make that clear in the beginning. I mean, do something along those lines. It's $300-400, and it's one of the times where you can safely back out of the deal and get your earnest money. If you don't have an inspection done, you can't back. If you don't have an inspection done and you move into the house and the whole water heater's busted and there's no heat, the AC doesn't work, but you didn't have it inspected, that sucks. You can't do anything about it now. The inspection period, once you have it inspected, you'll get an inspection back, and that'll be the inspection period. At that point, you'll be able to submit a form that's called an RE10 in Idaho, and basically that goes over, here's what the inspector found, and here's what we would like fixed. How would you like to proceed? And the seller can basically say, yeah, we'll fix all that, we'll fix some of that, or we're not fixing anything. And then at that point, technically, you can just say, okay, cool, we'll take my earnest money and see you later. So get an inspection done. It's super important. Even if you buy a new house, it doesn't matter. Mistakes happen anywhere, even in brand new buildings. So always, always, always get an inspection done. Let's say Nothing goes wrong with the inspection. Everything is clear, free, good to go. Let's get in the home. Perfect. Check. Next up, there will be an appraisal ordered. That varies in cost. Can be $500. Sometimes you don't have to pay for it. Sometimes you do. You can write in the contract you don't want to pay for it. It all varies. But at the end of the day, an appraisal will be done. The appraisal is for a couple things. Obviously, one, a lender's not just going to give you $400,000 and say like, yeah, that thing's probably worth $400,000. They have to get somebody out there to make sure it's worth $400,000, so they're not just immediately losing money. And they have to make sure that your credit's the same, your payment stuff's the same, everything, your situation is the same. Now, what happens with the appraisal if it comes low, high, what? So if your appraisal comes low, there's a couple options. One, you guys can renegotiate and say, here's the deal, it came in at this value, let's go to that value, right? Another way, they can get comps and justify the value. And then lastly, I mean, if they don't want to negotiate with you, that's another time where you can safely back out of the deal and keep your earnest money. But if it comes higher than what you offered, it doesn't matter. You win. Perfect. You just bought a home right into equity. That's nice. So that's basically what happens in that situation. After that's done, I mean, that's pretty much the process. Contingencies can be put in the contract at the end. Oftentimes, when you purchase the home, you'll get the keys at the closing table, or your agent will have them, along those lines. But usually it's same day, boom. You got your new house, you can move in, awesome. Sometimes you've got like a rent back period. Sometimes you close on a day and they're like, you're entitled to the keys on this date. It varies, and all that would be covered in the initial offer. But that's basically the process broken down as simple as it can be. If you guys have any questions regarding, more information on the process, people to talk to in different states, or just more information about real estate, what's going on in your market, I would love to be a resource for everybody. So please feel free to comment, subscribe, like. My number is 208-599-2112. Text or call me. Let me know, hey, I saw your YouTube video. I want to chat more. I'm an open book, for real. So even if you're calling me and you don't have any intentions to purchase a home, that's fine. You just want to learn more about it, awesome. I'm here. I'm a resource. Please feel free. All right. Catch you next time.